Ain't no half Steppin with Marcus J. Thank y'all everybody for staying with us as we transition towards the end of the show with our rants and our closings. Shout out to Lumsey and Joy. They enjoying the music. I enjoy the music as well. Yes, Lumsey, I do listen to Z100 and all of the other corny stations. Y'all remember when we was coming up when they would play all of these songs together? Like, you might hear this song and then you might hear Run DMC come on right after it. Like, it wasn't none of this segregation in the music. It was like you listen to it all the same. I used to love when music was like that.
You want to listen to a good selection of music put together? Watch Miami Vice.
Yeah.
They hit you with like 4 songs at the right time.
I cry when they play I Wanna Know What Love Is.
They've only played it like 2 or 3 times. But I get you.
Can't do it.
Only one dude has ever survived his first time on Miami Vice, and they came back and killed him later. Because every episode of Miami Vice, except for one, the person they're going against, they kill. The track record is like 98%.
That's the way it gotta go sometimes. They know how to stab with Marcus J. At this time of the show, we always like to get into our rants and our closings and our thank yous and all of that kind of stuff. I started off before I rant. I want to have a thank you goes to Joy, Said, DJ Renee Melendez, Michelle K, Simone checked in, Hakeem was listening, my brother Lumsey, my sister Melanie, the dating pool diva, Arthur Charisma, who will be in studio with us next week, as well as our newest listener PB checked in as well. So had a lot of people. I know there's a lot more people listening than that, but if you shout us out, we'll shout you out. Ain't no half step on Marcus. I bless you up, and we know how you get to rant. What done got you all riled up and fired up that you got to come and let the listeners know this time? What you got, sis?
All right, I haven't asked for permission, so I apologize ahead of time. But if you all don't know, I love to dance. I love salsa. I love to salsa dance. Every time I get a chance, I put it up on my Facebook. But the problem is... I don't know how I feel about that. My hometown is Prince George, Petersburg, and we're having an issue where there's not a lot of people that are coming to Petersburg to salsa. And mind you, it is on a Monday night, but still, that's not the point. And if we had a venue in Richmond on a Monday night, there would be people there, just like tomorrow night. They're going to be at the salsa venue tomorrow night. My issue is Petersburg, which right there by Fort Lee, there should be a large salsa community or people that know how to on Fort Lee, but it's on Washington Street, close to downtown. We can't get our melatonin, how do you say it?
Melanin, I'm sorry.
Melanin enriched people to come out and support salsa in Petersburg. I'm thinking because probably they don't know anything about it. They don't like reaching outside of the box that they have grown up in Petersburg. And that's not it? No. What? Go ahead, Ruben. What is it?
Man, Washington Street near downtown? Who's going to be out there at nighttime to Washington Street downtown? I grew
it's
up
right
in
off
Petersburg.
of 95.
Man, I don't care. I grew up in Petersburg.
And see, that's a misconception. Petersburg is not that bad.
I grew up in Petersburg. I know how bad and good Petersburg is. You're not going to sit here and tell me how my hometown city is.
Y'all need to stop walking around scared of your
No,
people.
no. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying a lot of people who live in Petersburg are not going to go down there at nighttime.
It is Neptune's right off of 95. And it's well lit most of the time. It's right by the it's right by the Y, and there's a large amount of they built up the condos and factories that are around there, so there's no excuse. My point is, people, reach outside your box. Stop being afraid to do something new. Learn something different. Learn about different cultures. You'll be surprised at all the things that you can learn from trying something new once.
But I don't know how to sew.
They have classes right before the actual dances, so there's no excuse. Come out, enjoy something new, do something new. I mean, when I came up, I was in the house most of the time. I grew up around Fort Lee people, so I was meeting Hispanics, I was meeting white people, German people. I mean, the German is a different race for some reason, I don't understand. But I was meeting a whole bunch of different people. So now I didn't mean Hitler Germans. I mean black Germans. They can't just be black; they have to be German. They can't be black. But anyway.
Boris Kojak?
Yeah, exactly. So once I got out of the house, once I got out, and started doing things, I got into the West Indian culture. I got into salsa. I started riding bikes, motorcycles. I mean, I get outside your box and stop just staying in one place. Learn something new. That's my rant for tonight.
Half stepping with Marcus J. I agree with you, Lumsy. He's saying it's Petersburg. It ain't Little Havana. Get on out there and quit being scared. And Joy is saying she loves the dance as well. So we definitely agree. So I agree with you, Bless.
They're building up Petersburg. They got a croaker spot down there. What?
I don't know that I will go there as my example of how they're building up Petersburg.
I can't even look at it.
I can't. Not quite sure that would be my big joker to slam on the table. Yeah, he almost said it. But I'm gonna need you to stop saying that though. We can't. No, the first one we can't say that name. We try to get them to work with us, and we ain't heard from them. We a little mad though.
Come support Petersburg and support.
It's your hometown, man. Quit being scared of your own people.
How far is that?
You know what I'm saying? It's
about,
Petersburg.
depending on how fast you drive.
Man, I don't
20,
live
30
there.
minutes.
Oh, it's like that.
Well, I mean, I don't. I physically don't live there.
I know you don't live there no more. Just quit being scared.
I mean, I got friends who live there. My family still lives there. So it's all
When was
good.
the last time you went to Petersburg?
See my folks. I don't know, a couple months ago. Yeah.
You haven't seen your parents in a couple of months? You haven't seen your parents in a couple of months?
Yeah.
You haven't seen, oh my God, my parents are 350 miles away. I would go see them they would get tired of me if I lived that close.
I mean, I'm sorry. You have a different relationship with your peeps than I do with mine.
You people kill
Just
me.
because I love my parents, I need to be all up under them. Let them enjoy life being at home. Maybe they run around naked and stuff. I don't know. Nor do I care. Exactly.
Nobody wants to think about their parents running around the house.
But I mean,
naked.
it's just it's real life. Because you best believe when I get a certain
Alright.
age and I got kids going out the house.
I got a date for you, Bless. Lumsy said he gonna be there with his mariachi outfit on.
No, mariachi is not
he
salsa.
gonna be there. He gonna be there. He gonna be there looking like Antonio Banderas from what's the movie?
Or Carlton.
What's the movie? Help me out. The Robert
what you're
Rodriguez
talking
movie. The first one was
Desperado.
Desperado. There you go. Ain't no ask that with Marcus Jack. All right, we haven't had this brother in the building in quite a while, so it's time for him to do what he does. And I'm glad to have my brother back to do a smash. Big Rube, floor is yours, my brother.
Big Roo. Smash. I haven't done a smash in over 10 weeks. Let's see if I can pull some out. So. What? No, I don't need any of that. Nah, that's terrible.
Joy said you're awful, by the way, Big Rube.
What you say?
Joy said, oh my God, Big Rube, you're awful.
That's fine. Alright, that's cool.
So it's time for the smash.
So, me and Marcus share a lot of things in common, as far as our beliefs and things as such. However, it is to be duly noted that Marcus is the more semi kind of militant of us, whereas I'm kind of the more nicer, kind of laid back, chill. Would that be correct, Marcus?
I wouldn't say you're nicer. I would just say you're different.
More laid back.
It's
I'm more
different.
laid back with my stuff.
Doesn't mean that it makes you nicer. If
Okay.
anybody was listening to the show about an hour ago, I don't think they would call you
Hey,
nice.
I mean, real, whatever. But there's some things that get on my nerves that I know gets on Marcus' nerves. Now, they might have talked about this earlier because I was a little late. But the thing that happened this past weekend, I believe, in Henrico County, really kind of pissed me off, really. You have parents who live in Henrico County, nice house, nice neighborhood. They create a area so their kids can go and find Easter eggs. And when they get all their Easter eggs back and they go in the house and the kids are excited, they're looking for maybe the nickel or the dime, maybe the quarter that's in there, or maybe some chocolate, whatever. And they find things such as, and I quote, diversity equals white genocide. And mass immigration and forced assimilation of non-whites into our land is genocide. Really? That's. I didn't realize Easter meant that. I didn't realize Easter meant that you can go and terrorize people and try to push upon your beliefs of whatever belief system that you have. And yes, I said terrorize because these little kids, you know, their parents are just trying to raise them the best way they know how. You know, their parents work just like I assume most of us do. They work hard. They put themselves in a they try to give their kids everything they didn't have. And you have the nerve to go and add these eggs in this in this yard where these kids are going out and having fun, and you think it's funny, or you think it's good for them to know that, or you know, for the very unintelligent, white power, whatever, you know. The notes point to white power websites such as whitemanmarch.com and whitegenocideproject.com. So I guess it's fair to say now that the hatred has gone viral on the internet, or you can just make a website about how much you hate a different race, and you know, in order for you to get your information out there, you need to go and pollute other people's homes with your eggs or whatever you choose to do so. Whereas, first of all, that's just real messed up, and second of all, that's kind of against the law. It's kind of littering. But really, I mean, we're in this day and age where we have to punish children for being children because you feel like that your white power, or your black power, or your Hispanic power is more important than anything else going on in other people's lives. You want to take over their life. You want to change their life. You want to run them out of the neighborhood. You want to do this. You want to do that. When it's all said and done, we're talking about kids, you know, on Easter. Really? You pick probably one of the most sacred days on the calendar to spread your hatred and your filth. Look, man, you got 363 other days to spread your filth, and you do it in other different ways, and that's fine. It's freedom of speech and whatever. But really, man, you put these little punk ass messages in Easter eggs so little kids can find them, and next thing you know, they have to ask mommy, what does this mean? And mom and dad got to have a sit down conversation about the stupidity of other people in this world who don't understand that the world's for everyone to share it. You may have your own beliefs, but there's a time and place for you to do that. Not on Easter eggs. I mean, really, do you want somebody, you know, come to your house and when your dog comes home, he spray painted black power on him? Of course not. Or when you come out to your truck, you have a little sticker of Calvin peeing on some white supremacist hat. You don't want that on your truck, you know? So why are you sitting here and you're doing this to kids, to little kids, 3 and 5 years old, who all they want to do is go and get some Easter eggs and see what the Easter Bunny's left for them, and you have the nerve to spread your unadulterated filth or your belief under people on such a day. You know, don't get me wrong. Once again, you have the freedom of speech to do it on any day you choose. But really, man, doing it on Easter is like doing it on Christmas. It's real low. It's really low. Or Hanukkah, or, you know, whatever holidays that anybody, Lent, whatever. You know, that's just really low, dude. And one of these days, the human race will learn how to control their emotions and their feelings to a point where they can vocally speak on it without damaging the people who don't need to be damaged. If you want to come to me and say white power is whatever, but if I got like a 2-year-old kid with me, don't come to me and yell it to my kid, because that's just rude, disrespectful. And that's real messed up. You know, believe what you want. Just have a little class, man. Just have a little class. It's Big Rube. It's a smash. 10 weeks ago, I did one. I did one today. Probably another 10 weeks, I'll do another one. Because they might not let me back on the show after today. Mm-hmm. So, thank you. Peace out. And catch me out on Fridays, 7 to 9 with Clutch.
My brother, Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. That was Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, co-founder and my partner in Legacy Internet Radio. It's my brother, Big Root. We appreciate having you in the building. It's good to see you. It's time for my current and favorite co-host, S.Y. Butler, to jump in and give us her moment. I want to know if she's feeling happy over there. You happy over there, sis?
Oh, huh? What?
You feeling happy over there, girl? You better leave Bring It Over along.
Always happy. I'm always happy. You know, not anything any different than any other day. Just
You just like picking on him.
thank you guys for listening, and thank you, Bless, for coming out and having fun.
You're welcome. Thank you all for having me.
And
again.
misbehaving yourself during my segment.
She was getting sassy over there.
And Big Rube. I miss
Revenge
you, man.
is a dish best served. It don't need to be cold. It don't need to be hot. It don't need to be lukewarm.
I was only saying that it was so nice to see you because I missed you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But anyhow, Marcus,
Yes, ma'am.
it's always a thrill, my brother.
Thank you, darling.
We have so much fun.
Yes, we do.
And I want to remind everybody this Saturday, 26, Glen Allen, Innsbruck, 9 a.m., the MS Walk. Put on your little sneakers and your cute little caps, nice little fitteds, little t-shirts, and let's get ready to walk. We're going to have fun. Some crew members, some Legacy Internet Radio is going to be out. We're going to have fun. We're going to make a great day of it. So we will see you there. And then I'll see you again on Monday.
You got it. Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. That's my sister, S.Y. y'all killing me over there. Doing the thing cluck there. But anyway, Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. Definitely glad that we had the great show that we had here tonight. I gave the thank yous to the folks in social media. Now, too, thank you to the folks here in the room. Of course, my sister Bless, when we have you here in studio to do the show with us, we are blessed by being blessed with your presence here in studio, so we appreciate that. Of course, Big Rube. Of course, my brother Big Rube. It's good to see you, brother. We haven't had an opportunity to fellowship here on the air in quite a while, so whenever we have you back, it's always a good night, my brother. And then, of course, my sister S.Y., who we have here in studio. Of course, the anchor of the show, helps me produce, helps me run the show, and the show would not be the same if you wasn't here with me every single week to do it. So thank you so much. It's time for me to get into my rant. It's time for me to get into my closing so we can get us the hell on up out of here. And I usually end the show by saying ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about tonight, and this really doesn't have anything to do with what we talking about tonight, but we certainly have talked about this and this person in the past, most recently a week or two ago. In November of 2006, Sean Bell was about to be married. On the eve of his wedding, he was fatally shot by the NYPD, unarmed, as well as his companions. Of course, we know the officers involved in that shooting were all found to be not guilty by a jury of their peers. Gina 6, case of 6 boys who were overcharged in a fight. Racially charged situation escalated. One of the boys was charged with attempted murder in a simple schoolyard fight. And then there's Trayvon Martin, walking home from the store unarmed, when he was followed, confronted, and ultimately killed by an overzealous neighborhood watchman. Now, what do all of these cases have in common? Their cases became national news in large part due to the involvement of the Reverend Al Sharpton. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time defending Reverend Sharpton, which I'm sure he's more than capable of doing. And I'm also well aware of his ties to the CIA and the FBI, as we discussed here on our show in recent weeks. He is an admitted informant, which brings into question his credibility as a civil rights leader. How can a snitch be a civil rights leader, some would ask, and why would anyone trust a man that can just as easily get a mobster to talk in front of him as he is getting the disenfranchised to seek him out for aid? But what I will address is some of the negativity that I hear coming from our very people, the very people that Reverend Sharpton would help at a moment's notice, our people, black people, calling them names like the perm, ambulance chaser, and things like that. They say it only comes around when the cameras are there. And maybe that's true, but I actually disagree with that. But let's just say for a minute it is true. Real talk, many folks are basing their opinion off of what they hear in the media, and they're not really paying attention to the facts. Remember, this is the same media that actively presents young black men in a negative light consistently. So fact number one, I've actually heard victims confirm that he doesn't join their case unless the family or the victims specifically ask him to do so. Fact number two, he's heading a civil rights organization called National Action Network that probably has more power than the NAACP, Urban League, and others combined. Fact number three, I've heard families say that he never leaves them until the case is over, well after the cameras are gone. So if you want to talk to the widow of Sean Bell or the family of Trayvon Martin, I'm sure they'll tell you the Rev has stood by them throughout the trials and the aftermath of the media coverage in those cases. So you can hate him all you want, but if you got in trouble, would you want him fighting for you and putting pressure on the people persecuting you? Or would you say no because dude got a funny haircut and you can't be bothered to be seen in his presence? No, because snitch or no snitch, you're not going to be worried about that. You're not going to be worried about him snitching on mobsters or building his bank account. You want the media light on your case so that you can have a positive outcome. So before we are so quick to judge and condemn this man that's consistently been the face of the civil rights movement for nearly 40 years, let us remember that we, black folks, were not firmly in the corner of Martin Luther King when he was living. Some folks actually hated him, called him a troublemaker, refused to embrace him. Now, Reverend Al Sharpton ain't no Martin Luther King, and he certainly will never be one. I'm sure he'd tell you that himself. But he has been the voice for the voiceless, and his presence has led to a positive outcome in many negative situations, and that fact is something that cannot be ignored. That is the Marcus's unrelated rant that has nothing to do with what we talked about here tonight. It's the end of the show. I want to remind everybody that independence is key to building your legacy. I also want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. The abundance of water, y'all. A fool is thirsty. Those are words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. And you know how Steppin with Marcus J. We will be back right here next week. Peace.